Purchase your tracks today. Purchase your tracks today.
You got MTC on the track, man.
Purchase your tracks today.
Yo, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I'm making sure. Can y'all hear me? I want to make sure I got it right for you guys. When I go ahead and do this, when I do this conversation, this was something that was brought to me. Shout out to the subscriber request. They coughed up the cash, so guess what? You know what? I gotta go ahead and have this conversation because this is something that keeps dodged in these spaces. Dodge Convo. Man. Stepping. All right. I had to get that out. I wanted to go ahead and have the conversation with you guys on this of why, we got to actually talk about this right now. And, honestly, this wasn't even asked to me by a black person. What's going on, DJ? Shout out to you. But I definitely had this conversation come about my way by somebody who's not black. And it was a fair question to ask. It was very fair to ask, They wanted to know the why, because we always hear about all these philosophical people, high collar people, low collar value people, and they always talk about this, either comply, die, all kind of said stuff. But I never ever see somebody actually in these fields. But guess what? I am in this field. I'm not a cop, so do not bring me in with those cops. Hang on, let me go get my beer. Thing. Let me go put on some music while I'm going ahead and do this, man.
MTCB.
But I wanted to have this conversation with you guys and actually be realistic with you guys, because this is something that's very real. As you already know, I'm definitely one of those type of people who believe in firearms. Okay, there you go. I believe in firearms, and also I believe in always carrying either a blade or a knife. I'm about that type of lifestyle. Let me see. I got to read what y'all saying while y'all talking. You already know. Salute. What's going on, G3? What's going on? You ever gone show your gun collection? You ever going to show your gun collection? Oh yeah. I think I've done that quite a few times. Will I ever show all of it? That's too much. I'm not pulling all of that out, man. I keep them all over. I keep stuff all over for a reason, for in case scenario. But I want to have the conversation, the much needed conversation that we hear a lot of complaints, and I hear a lot about why people should comply. We hear a lot about people are dying. We hear a lot about people are, not being treated fairly. Don't know the constitutional rights and all that said stuff. But one of the things that always seems to blow my mind is that whenever it comes to actually forming, their own said militia, or actually doing for themselves, they don't seem to do that. And for me, I can't understand why. I mean, you hear a lot about, hey, go off, do your own thing, set up, and I got to be real with y'all, man. You got groups right now, especially out there in Kentucky. You have other groups out there in different other factions of the U.S. that are actually forming their own groups. The Hispanics are forming their own groups. You have it where different groups, and I'm not going to say blacks aren't doing it, but definitely we can see that you get more respect when you actually are able to handle and do for your own. And that's a fact. I'm willing to have the conversation with y'all on why, because we're hearing a lot of people saying that, hey, man, I can't trust the police. I can't do for myself. What's going on, Wayman? I don't feel like I can trust the law. And we got a problem with the drug dealers, or they'll bring up Chicago about some baby. But I'm like, until you actually come with the resolve to actually do for yourself, nobody's going to actually take you seriously. That's just a fact, man. Nobody's going to actually take you serious. And sadly, we see that going on with the black man, especially in a lot of these spaces. I'm not sure if you have the resolve to actually handle your own justice and stick to it. I'm not sure if you have the resolve for that. What are you willing to die for? And granted, y'all can say, well, I joined the military. Shit. I hear a lot of that. But actually, are you willing to go out and clean up your own community? And at what cost? And or better yet, just, I've joined Neighborhood Watch and different other said factions and groups. I've fought in different wars. But we got to ask yourself, what are you willing to do? Shout out to you, Ghost, for sending me that video. That was a pretty cool firefight I was watching. That cop took that round like a G and kept in the fight. Much respect to him for doing that. But I have to be realistic to a lot of people. Majority of the African American community does not understand or know how to properly use firearms, let alone actually know how to actually have combat. You can look at the NFAC when they were trying to show force. Running around with 22s? No. Even that kid Kyle had a more effective firearm. They had open dust covers. We're flagging each other and stuff. And I'm not saying everybody's like that. I'm not. But we definitely know that when it comes to the show of force, we don't really know how to properly do that or actually administer that type of pressure among ourselves. And see, hang on, I'm willing to also have the conversation with you, brothers, because it is also an early morning. I was talking with a few guys. I think they were going, we got hunting season coming around. But when it goes about dealing with this, you've never seen in this space of the Negro manosphere or the Black manosphere that we've ever talked about forming of militias, forming of firearm safety classes, or any type of coalition for Black men. I'm so serious. You've never seen that or had that. And I mean, if y'all do know, please show me that video. But you've never seen that shown up in these spaces. And why? Because a lot of them don't know. And a lot of them lack the resolve to actually do that, to actually go through those courses. I get it. I have a concealed carry, big whoop. Most people don't even give a shit to do that anymore. They just carry a firearm. Just being honest. It's only good. It's only good to, and I'm saying it is. It only takes you but so far. And I'm being honest. A concealed carry will only take you but so far. Because if you go in certain states, that don't work in DC. New York, definitely don't. It don't work in New York. I understand why. And it's not because you're a black man. It's just that the certain types of grades of weapons, hollow point killers, stuff like that. This is a 9mm. A lot of people just don't actually get the proper training. Like you might see a Glock. I'm seeing people get AKs. And I mean, you can get an AK. I mean, honestly, AK is only good, but up to like 100 feet, 100 or 200 feet effective. It's just a spray close quarters weapon. Like you'd be better off with a pistol. You probably have a better job dropping a person with a pistol, firing 1 or 2 shots versus the AK. You spray like that, I lay down on the ground, boom, boom, you're done. You're done. You're laying down. And we've seen this because we're looking at the casualty shootings that are going on out there in the community. I'm tired of always hearing about a lot of these talking points, and we're seeing a lot of different coalitions. Tactics beats numbers. Exactly. I agree. Tactics beats numbers. There's no training. Y'all don't have no. There ain't no training talking points out here. Hang on, we got super. Mike, don't be coming up here talking about no white supremacy and shit now. We don't got no time for that now. Don't come up here. I have to keep you off that. You can't be doing that white supremacy.
Hey, man. What's up? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Mike. I can hear you. You got to turn off your other computer.
Oh, you got an echo?
No, yeah, it's gone now. It's gone now. Wait, you got to turn off
No.
the feedback. There you go.
No, I wanted to say something though about this.
Go ahead.
Because I know you talk about guns and everything. I'm not into the gun.
Why not?
But and I know. Do you think that's necessary to what you're talking about? The gun?
Yeah. I think so. I think so. About around the time. Just mute up. So, if at this point right now in 2020, you're not talking, and I'm being for real, by now, with the way that the shape of how the world is going, if you're not talking about your own home security and protection, you have failed yourself right now. I don't care what you say. Other communities or other people are doing it now. And I'm talking about not just one diaspora of communities, but people nowadays are going about getting firearms, sidearms. They're going about learning different types of courses of safety. They're going to the ranges and stuff. I'm seeing more women go to the range than I see the men, but I see the men more so worried about sexual gratification as well as access to certain venues. But that doesn't really mean nothing if you're still complaining about the laws and complaining about certain types of groups. You could have just formed your own policing unit group and kind of started doing that of, going about learning how to do neighborhood watch, community watch. Shout out to the other brother who come on in. Hello. Hello says, okay, there's echo. But I think we also said there was a black YouTuber who had the animated cartoon General last year. The guy used to talk about that before he got doxxed. And I mean, that's a shame. But go ahead, Mike.
See, this is what I'm saying. I know you. When we try to talk about some history stuff, I think you think that's irrelevant. The history, because you think that doesn't have anything to do with now. What do you? Because what I'm saying to you is that just like you said earlier with the in-fact stuff, you could grab these people. You know, black folks, we're not used to this. We get some 22s. You know, there's a lot of teaching, the hard work of teaching. You cannot get around it. You can't, you know, leapfrog past it. This is the problem that a lot of people, they're in a rush because they see you know, when you have that mindset and you're ahead of most others in a certain category, you're a leader in a certain field, the mass majority are just not on your level. And this is the frustration that people who know certain stuff, they're going to have that because you need numbers. And in order to get numbers, you need to teach. You see, and this is the problem with you seeing with INFAT. You just get a bunch of black folks who believe in what you're saying. They really believe it. And they'll go out there and get slaughtered. They will. They'll follow you. But what's the point?
So one of the things about it is, in my time in training, history was all good and all. History was all good and all. Having these so-called, listen, man, if we're not talking about guerrilla warfare, if we're not talking about tactics, if we're not talking about how to actually clear a room, if we're not talking about maneuverability of how to actually do cover me while I move, because nowadays there's nothing stopping you from going into the store and putting down $50 on a sidearm. Clearing a background check, and literally after that, taking that and going down into the range. You can literally go do that. There are plenty of instructors, plenty of people at gun ranges who will gladly teach you. Doesn't matter about the teacher. It doesn't have to be a black person to teach you. It just has to be somebody who's willing to teach you. And then from there, you can actually start going out there and practicing. Start practicing at 50 yards. Practice at 100 yards. After that, start practicing certain stance points. Talking about history, to me, not that I'm not slighting down on it, but right now I'm in the now. I'm not in the past. I'm hearing a lot of bringing up the past of this and that, but you're right here. You're not back there. You're not running around with a musket. You're actually running around. You can run around with a rifle that can hold a drum to a whole clip. And if you want to actually work with people, you don't need actually numbers. I'm gonna tell you the truth. The more people you have, the more easier it is to drop all of you. The one guy said it clearly. He said, listen, you don't need all the numbers. You only need an effective tactical training. So if one or two people know how to properly go a whole group of 36 people in, one guy can run to the side and flank them and literally cut off all of them, half of their numbers, in literally a blink of an eye. How did one guy get chased by a mob of people and literally after dropping two people, everybody dispersed? Why? Because people weren't properly trained. Yeah, and they had a firearm there, different other stuff. But I'm telling you, once you start doing well-placed shots, people start to panic. Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, that's all I'm saying is, what are they fighting for?
Well, here's the thing about it. Here's one of the big issues about it. Because we tend to hear a lot of people saying, well, the police are bad. Okay, you got an issue with the police. They say, well, the government's bad. You got an issue with the government. So then why don't you form your own militia? Form your own militia.
Government.
Well, you see, before
you gotta have a government to have a militia.
No, you do not. No, you do not. You do not have to.
What are they fighting for?
You don't have to have a
what
government.
Are they loyal to?
Who told you need a government to form a militia? You don't even.
I'm just giving you something. I'm giving you a question. I'm saying there has to be a reason. People have to have something that they are loyal to. This is what I'm trying to get you to see. Like, I understand what you're saying, and it's true. But if you leapfrog the process, you got to have the fighters, and you got to have those kind of people who may not be as good as fighting, but they good at organizing. See what I'm saying? So there has to be a whole support system in order for that kind of stuff to work. And that's the reason. That's, you see, if you're just out there with guns, you know, everybody got guns.
So let me go ahead and look at all this. I'm gonna tell you right now where I'm seeing a lot of stupidity, and I mean, shout out to them for trying. This is just so bad. But I don't want. I hate to start doing the critiquing. So let's go ahead. One. I don't know why they're raising a fist when they have the firearm. First of all, this is extremely. This dude has 1, 2, 3. Why do you have that many doggone? This is why I say people just grab stuff just to look cute. They're grabbing things to look cute. You know, you got one guy holding a firearm up in the air. If that thing would have dropped, he should have rounded up. That could hit anybody there. I don't know what she's doing. You're having things happen, and I mean, I'm being very honest with y'all. Doesn't happen. You don't have proper training. Look where her finger's at. Oh God, Jesus Christ. This guy has chips. He's had his firearm up. You know, listen, man. If I could,
look, that organization should be in silence. That organization should not be trying to display itself, like that. They should be training. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, yeah, but see, we can tell that there ain't no training. It's all so-called to look cute and for show. Half of the people, they go buy a firearm, but they probably don't know how to use that same firearm that they have. And you see, that's what kills me. I mean, I don't care to be dressing in no black if only like probably 9 of y'all in there can actually shoot. The rest of y'all are just there to look cute. And we already.
And the thing is,
go ahead.
The thing is, what I'm saying is, this organization would be better served to the community that they claim to serve by just like some of the other militias. They could, make themselves known to the public, encourage people to buy the guns, have facilities to train people, not be out there threatening the police, trying to pretend like they're going to do something that they're not going to do. Right. And then they can replace the police. They can say, call us instead of calling the cops. We're professionals. We're a security service. If you want to give us a donation, every household in this community that we dedicate ourselves to serves to, maybe if y'all would give us a subscription of $5 a house or something, we will replace the police. We will be a security service. That's what they can do. That's my point.
Now you're reading me, Mike. Now you're reading me.
So that's all I'm saying.
No.
So that's what I was saying before.
Okay. So we're definitely connecting, because this right here is a waste of doggone time, and it's
dangerous.
You're just dangerous. You're not getting anything done. If you want to be a reckoning force or a militia, then go do that in your community. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell that to anybody. Be a militia in your community. Serve your purpose in your community. Do your walks. Do all that stuff coming around.
And that's what I mean by a government.
Huh?
This is what I'm saying.
Plenty of men have security firms to get contracts with the state. Thank you, Barrington. Shout out to you for doing that. And see, hang on. I'm gonna go ahead. Detroit neighborhood has private cop secure. I believe I saw this a while back ago. Okay. Okay, so let me. I think I found it.
Yeah, you see El Ghost.
Uh, no, no. Hang on, I gotta go check out what Ghost said. There's a video of. I would have to. I gotta go find it. But literally, there's a part of Detroit where they have their
Yeah,
own.
that's New Era.
Oh, you heard of them?
New Era.
Yeah.
I believe that's if you're talking about the same thing. New Era is a organization that spread in Detroit, Chicago. I think they're in Cleveland and some other cities, and I think they do that. I'm
Right.
not sure if it's the same one you're looking at though.
Now I can't show the video. I'm not going to show the video, but I don't want to get flagged. BMT, if you go full Montana Freeman, Homeland Security is going to flag you heavily. Most of us don't want that heat and active file of Quinco. Oh no, I'm not doing none of that. Like, listen, man.
Well, see, that's what I was talking about, the history.
No, but
that's
see,
why I made mention of that.
But here's the thing about it. See, first of all, y'all, that's one of the things about it. I've already been swatted before. I've been swatted by the government because originally I was showcasing firearms on my channel long ago. I was showcasing that with my children. We was going over weapon safety and all that said stuff. The reason why I calmed down when I was in my lane because I got swatted by the Florida Police Department. Okay, I got swatted. Didn't stop me from doing what I did, but I said I'm just gonna go.
Yeah, but you have to adjust. That's all. It's tactics.
I just had to readjust what I was doing. But the thing about it is, I still had the knowledge to be able to teach. I still have to be able to tell y'all, hey, y'all need to go do this. Y'all need to do that. I'm not going to waste my time getting on here talking about minuscule things when we have things like I could easily, okay, so let's say, and honestly, what I was talking about, I found it. But thank you for bringing that up, Ghost. People in Detroit are hiring paramilitary guards because they've lost faith in the government. Detroit shortage, retention problem has brought a wave of private security companies, which they are hiring at the armed security. Detroit,
smart.
Yeah, huh?
That's yeah. Keep going.
No, and literally, so they got it's called his 60-person called Viper Force. Okay. So let me actually go ahead and look up that called Viper Force. But the thing about it that I want a lot of y'all to understand, y'all could have formed your own stuff. Y'all could have formed your own stuff out there on your own. There you go. Viper. And see, there you go. Viper Force. They're not the police.
Threat management.
Go ahead. Threat.
Nah, that's deep. I'm just looking at what you got here.
Go ahead.
Threat management centers.
So,
and they have an academy. You see this?
Now, what is stopping you teaching kids to be smarter, stronger, and safer? They got community, defense forces, collaborative organizations, media coverage. And guess who this run by? A black man. Yes, it's run by a black man. Bet you didn't know that.
See,
and the thing about it is, he's not the police. He just
is he out there in the street, you know, telling people to throw up guns and march and threaten white supremacist groups and get out there. You see what I'm saying? Like that's the reason why I said when we don't know. I mean, I'm saying like this, and I'm not talking about you specifically only, but I'm saying that's the reason why they force certain information on you in school, little history stuff. It's because there's certain stuff you got to know because everybody should know certain stuff. Otherwise, you'll be easily fooled, and and that's all I'm saying. It's like they get somebody out there doing the same thing that was done 40 years ago. They literally exact same thing because people don't know the history and they fall for the exact same cycle. And that's the problem. You going out there, you showing your guns, you walking in the middle of the street. I mean, come on, man, this ain't gonna work. This has been done several times.
Now, I want to read some of the stuff that he says. He says Viper for he said the Vipers program is the platform for becoming a threat management specialist, the ultimate in bodyguarding, training, and facilitation. The Vipers Academy graduates will be required to put their lives in danger during the training process to make sure that they are dedicated to their mission of being excellent at protecting clients' lives. Vipers are also required to volunteer to put their lives on the line for those in need and without any financial incentives. The purpose of this level of selflessness is to ensure that we do not train money-motivated people. Those who are money-motivated are susceptible to selling their loyalty to the highest bidder, therefore putting their clients at risk. Woo! Man,
ain't that deep? You thought it wasn't out there. When you go to look,
I want you to understand. That's the guy who started Viper Force. Him, he started it.
Collaborative organizations.
Now, the thing about it is very interesting. You don't ever hear these types of people.
See?
Now, you don't ever hear about these type of people. And you see, he's not looking for clout. He's not looking for no doggone, hey guys, we're out here. Now, notice, as much as Detroit has been having their issues, do you see Viper Force running out there and, doing all that crazy stuff and running? Nope, you sure enough don't. They are where they need to be in their locations. Why? Because that's where they're told, hey, you stay home and you protect the home front of where we tell you to go. Safe Horizons' mission is to provide support, prevent violence, and promote justice for victims of crime and abuse, their families, and communities. For over a quarter of a century, Safe Horizons. So these are the people that they collaborate. Safe Horizon, Turning Point, Interim House, Haven, National Rifle Association, the NRA. These are the people that are that literally these people have worked with Better Business Bureau. Yeah, that they train. Yeah, so these are people that they have under their belt. I don't want you to think that
those are places too in Detroit. I know because
Oh, so these are places in Detroit. Okay, so Rivertown.
Yeah, some of those are places in Detroit. So Rivertown is downtown.
Right. So I don't want y'all to feel like, oh man, these people are owned by the No, these are 100% independent people. It's 100%
right.
But the thing about it, and I agree with the message that he put out there that, hey man, you gotta try by fire the people. Now, sadly, a lot of people don't care to protect a doggone bucket of water.
You'd be surprised.
I'm not.
When people hear about certain stuff, they'll gravitate toward it. But when they don't hear about something, like I said, the thing is, our people in this whole country, we got this kind of propaganda where we think because we think that we need to be marching down the street like some kind of World War II army force with a bunch of guns, and that's not going to be the smartest way for us. I'm just saying that's just not going to be the smartest way for us to do it.
Right.
Because we have a different situation.
Right.
But we can have that protection. We do have to be smart enough to be able to, but we have to legitimize your violence. You have to organize and you have to, do it in a smart way and you have to justify it.
Right. So somebody asked me, and they asked me a straight question. They said, well, BMT, why don't you show your collection? And the thing about it is you never show your hand. You never show your hand what you do and what you're capable of or who you know. I don't care to flex. Like that's just not smart.
El Ghost thing.
Huh?
I'm just reading El Ghost comment.
It sounds
He's
like
just so skeptical, and that's another thing. Nothing can work.
a backdoor way to make the next Blackwater. He could get a federal contract to like guarding power plants. Actually, the thing about it is they've been. I'm not sure. Like they've been in Detroit for a while, but
Right.
They and I'm pretty sure, Mike, you've heard of them. Those type of that type of group.
Well, yeah, I've heard of this many different groups like that. People have had those kind of ideas of they go up there and train at different. They have like little farms and stuff,
and they leave.
Yeah, they do their training.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. See, the thing about it, a lot of y'all, I want y'all to understand when I show that you don't have to join Viper Force. You can go up there, train, get what you need, and go right back to your people. And that'd be it.
Right.
That's it. Like you go there, you train, and then you're done. Like that's the whole thing about that. If you don't like your area, what's to stop it for me, Mike, Back to the Basics, Ghost, Barrington, to literally say, okay, guys, we're gonna go buy some fire, we're gonna go buy some pistols,
and train,
and we're just gonna train. We don't got.
That's it.
Don't have to put it on social media. We don't have to brag about it. We don't have to show pictures of us with guns. I hate when y'all do that. You don't have to do none of that. All you need to do is every Friday night we go there. We do 1 hour of practice. We learn how to clean our weapons. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. It is not hard. But the reason why it's not spoke about in these spaces, you are looking for a system to come in and correct your issues that you lack the resolve to go correct yourself.
And that's the issue.
I'm over that. I'm over that.
Yeah.
I'm not, like I said, y'all should have known by now, everybody is now starting to show or starting to build up their own segregated militias. They're having their own, as the word that Mike likes to use, everybody has their own agendas now for their own community.
Yeah.
And and I'm telling y'all right now, the person that asked me this question, it wasn't a black person, but it was a straightforward question. If you like to complain about the cops, if you like to complain about the government, and you're complaining about, hey, that this place is being mistreated, then I'm gonna tell you right now, stop calling them. You're gonna have to start handling that yourselves.
It's like, you remember those, what is it, 19 families that bought like land? 97 acres of land in Georgia? You heard about that?
Yes.
I'm sure if they're smart, they will have some kind of protection. But what I'm saying too, though, I just don't want us to think that literally the gun itself is the main thing. The gun is the protection. It's a defensive situation. But we don't have the ability nor the numbers to go out assaulting. Right. You know, and that's what I mean. Like people coming out there like they're assaulting. You have to stake your claim, and then you train to protect your claim and grow your claim.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And that's what I mean by the numbers, because there's a whole system. There's some people that's going to be, everybody should be able, but there's some people going to be more into the security system of it. But then there's going to be the development, the business development, the making, the building, all that other stuff. You know what I mean? That's what the security secures to make life better. But also all I'm saying, we just need to understand that, like you just said, we can stake our claim anywhere, in multiple places. But that training needs to be a part of it, and it doesn't need to be, like some stuff that's on TV. We think that, just because we got a gun, some kind of weapon, we're safe somehow.
No, that's true.
I mean, that's just not smart. You're not safe just because you have that. I mean, you can do something with it, but you can, if you got the right mindset, you can avoid a lot of stuff, too.
One other thing about it, and let me explain for y'all, because Mike, I guess me right now, what y'all see is me and Mike are building, and the panel is open for us to have a constructive conversation for anybody, all races. It does not just have to be black. But I'm willing to talk with y'all. Like I said, this is a subscriber request. So I am willing to have this discussion with y'all. First off, when you're building, you can't afford to go on the offense. You actually need to go on a stasis of defense. If Brother Mike is not a person who wants to go on and be carrying a firearm, then I'd rather him educate on tactical, and I'd rather him teach about the history of guerrilla warfare and different stuff. There are different ways and platforms on how you can properly be proficient. There's different ways of proficiency. Just like we have those ladies down there in Georgia, we have some other sisters that are coming through. Like, there's different, everybody is not built to pull the trigger. Everybody's not built for this, okay? But what we can have it where there are going to be people who are going to be called. It doesn't hurt to teach firearm safety. That way everybody has somewhat of a grasp.
Now, see, like, I'll tell you why I'm not into, I mean, I'm somebody who would be into the guns, but I'm not into guns because I understand, like, that is been used, literally have been used as kind of like a lure to a lot of us. And now, if we have an area of land or a group that we're protecting, of course I'm going to be into it, and I will, you know what I'm saying, defend the claim, you know, with everyone else. But, you know, just in the situation that we're in right now, I don't, you know, it's actually, a lot of times it tends to me, and I believe it's panned out in the statistics. If you don't have that training, most of the people, you know, like, you got military training, so you are professional, knowledgeable with the use of those weapons, right?
Right.
But for the average person who's just, I'm gonna need this to protect myself. See, they're thinking that this is gonna protect them. This does not actually protect you, and that's the problem. That's what I'm saying. Like, people actually think like, oh, now I'm safe. I have this. I'm safe. But they're still going into those situations. They're still going into those dangerous situations. They're still, you know, engaging in that type of behavior that brings those type of hostile situations to themselves and to their families. You see what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying. Like, right now in this situation that we're in, I don't need to have no gun in my car and these police stop me, especially with my mouth.
No.
And I understand the people saying, oh, there's legal laws and stuff that you can have and all these type of things. But, you know, right now, I think I'm good right now.
Like I say, y'all, I want y'all to understand that right now, certain groups are starting to form up their own militia groups. They're training.
And that's good.
They feel like, hey, you know, with the way that the nation is going. And I know some of y'all think, well, BNT, you trying to do a scare tactic. Am I? How am I doing a scare tactic when they have their own private lands that they go to? They go train.
Yep.
They learn how to read maps. They learn how to do a lot of said stuff. I've known and seen quite a few of them. Christian militia, antiquated of sedition in the U.S. This is a Christian militia group. I don't know.
Yep.
Judge in Michigan throws out case after ruling that talking about hatred of government does not amount to sedition. Now, this is a Christian that they were taken to court. Guess what? They still exist. And I'm telling you right now, their numbers have grown. Their numbers have grown.
Did you see that one? Remember when Wesley Snipes? One of the reasons he got started to get harassed because he had started this. He had bought some land and was had a black militia training.
Yeah,
in Georgia.
And see, the thing, you gotta understand, when you start doing. Listen, man. If you're going to start doing stuff, like I said, that's why I don't care too much for these spaces, especially out here on YouTube. Y'all talk too much about what y'all going to do. If you're really going to do it, you would never tell it on YouTube. You would
Exactly.
never talk about it on YouTube. If I had to talk to Mike, I would say, Mike, just email me, and we'll just
Yeah.
talk. On the phone.
Yep.
Because I mean, honestly, you telling them you don't think they don't watch you, and a lot of these people, y'all don't even know about these groups. You don't even know about some of the other groups. Some of y'all, and the thing about it is, they are consistently training. And I'm not just trying to show just white people, but don't think the Hispanics don't have groups. Don't think so many people.
Oh yeah.
Don't think so many people don't send their children to the military. They don't send their children to the police academy. These people are learning. Everybody is learning to build up their own. While you talk about, hey man, I just want a fair shot. And the thing about it, I'm gonna tell you why. A lot of y'all are afraid. I got to be the bad guy, but I'm gonna just tell you how it is. A lot of y'all are afraid. It is more so easy to keep your head down and comply and just listen to what anybody tells you than actually stand for yourself. Most of the world, majority of the world understands that Mike is right. And that is something that...
And that's what we got to understand. That right there, what you just said.
Mike is
That's
right.
something that we've been taught against for generations. We literally been taught that things like two wrongs don't make a right, and what's some of the other stuff that we get taught? Love. You can't drown out hate with love. Something like that.
Listen right now. Let me tell you right now. You got doggone armed militia groups that have been killing illegals at the border.
Right.
Like and mind you, if they get caught, they get in trouble, but they don't care. They don't care. I'm telling y'all right now, man, it is very serious.
Because they have an objective.
Look at 200 militia members along the border. Like y'all, like I said, y'all got to be mindful. Are you willing to actually start to protect and start to create and defend and set up and actually train? See, those things cost money. It costs patience. It costs time. It costs effort. It costs going to the gun range. I've done some videos of going down to the gun range. Y'all be laughing at those people when they be talking about them doomsday prepper videos.
Yep.
Mind you, they done showed up to Charlottesville. Yep. They showed up there in Michigan. You're seeing different militia groups show up more and more and more
boldly.
And
and they are members of the police departments in those areas. So this is what I mean. But the thing is, BMT. I mean, what I've been saying for a while, and what a lot of people have been saying. Unfortunately, it takes this. It takes these type of situations because people can teach a lot, but until you have to see this here on TV.
Right. And they open. People can stand in front of them. You think those people stop with them rifles? Nope. You think they back down? Nope.
But if you notice, though, they're actually killing themselves because have you seen what happened? And some of these militias are battling each other.
Yeah. Oh yeah. See, that's the thing about it.
And that's why we don't need to be in their way because they got the weaponry.
Right, they playing Call of Duty Warzone with each other.
Yeah, and that's the reason. That's the reason why it takes a lot of wisdom. A lot of wisdom you can actually, long as we. To me, this is what you said earlier. You said those militias are on the border, and then you showed some other militias of different countries, and then of course we know that the Mexicans have, because they have a country. Other groups have it, probably Native Americans and stuff. But the thing is, the way a lot of the black people think in this country, we literally believe that those militias are here to protect us. Because we think that I know we are Americans, but the thing is, we think we're in that group of Americans. And this is the problem. This is the confusion that some of us have. Because what happens is, when we start to do what's necessary to protect our particular group of Americans, then we start having confusion because people think that we're supposed to integrate everything.
You got that
and
right
it's
up.
just not going to work.
Angry Viking. Angry. So he identifies with Norwegian descent. I know y'all like to think. I'm not trying and I'm doing very good, not involving anything. I am just showing y'all. Boom. Boom. Y'all better be very mindful. Other groups. See right there, Mike? I told you, man.
Yeah.
Other groups have their own battle flags. And I'm glad you said that.
Exactly. They're loyal to something. And that's why when I asked you those questions earlier, that's what I meant. It's like you have to have a mindset that you're loyal to and that you're something that you're trying to build. And that's the reason why you start coalescing people to protect that thing. And see what I'm saying? And like right now, as Black America, we're trying to protect American as we've been taught it. You know what I'm saying? It's not even really how it is. It's the way we've been taught America. And that's just, it takes a whole lot of pain for us to realize that this is just not how it is. And that's what, that's what we're in that process of really understanding that. Some people are going to see it earlier than others. But, what's up, Ghost?
What's going on, Ghost? Shout out to Ghost. Ghost, are you there?
How are both of you guys doing this
yeah,
morning?
okay. Go ahead, bro.
We're doing good. I'm going over a subscriber request. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I joined YouTube a decade ago. Okay. And when I joined, what attracted me to it was the prepper movement. Now, I don't talk about that today. But that was a big part of what was going on after the last recession and the whole stock market crashed. I don't know if either of you two were involved in that as far as the YouTube community. But there are a lot of people talking about buying gold, buying seeds, buying land. This is a huge thing on YouTube. Again, this is before super chats and all the stuff we have today. Okay. And I actually had my own channel back then. And the thing I wanted to just remind both of you, you may already know it, is that if you scratch this prepper movement hard enough, you're going to find, I don't know, say it politely, but you're going to find some people who are not for your skin color. I'll put it that way. They're kind of racial identity people. Let's put it that way. Because so they're encouraging you to start your own militia. They want target practice against you. That's what that's really about. Do you follow what I'm trying to say here?
I get what you're saying about that, and I understand that. I rather them honestly, the guy who told me. But like I said, I see these guys. They come to me for ammunition. I see these guys when they come to me and buy in bulk. They drop down $900, $1,100, $2,000. They buy in bulk. I don't see.
Oh, yeah.
I be the only black dude in the room. But
let me say something.
I'm trying to say though, there's a large segment of the population that believes there's going to be a race war. And they've been talking this nonsense for 40 years.
I believe that war is on right now.
Well, they already listen. Right now, certain groups are already fighting among themselves. So, the reason why the police ain't saying shit or the federal government ain't saying nothing, you know why they ain't saying nothing? They're like, damn, we better not say nothing about this because then we really gonna look jacked up, and ain't nothing we can do about these people. So we might as well let Billy Joe and Kyle fight in the woods and stuff. Let them take themselves out. Whoever's still alive, that's who we'll have to deal with after the elections and stuff. But you know, sometimes they come down from the mountain. Those mountains come down. Go ahead.
Let me say something,
Clearly, if this was, go ahead.
No, I just want to say this here about your earlier when you was talking about how the preppers and all that, and BFT was saying how they come to him. Some of these guys come to him for ammunition and supplies. And I'm gonna say a historical thing, but it's quick. Frederick Douglass, not Frederick Douglass, but the other one. Anyway, they were making bricks in Alabama, Tuskegee Institute. He slips my mind right now. But these people all were racist. These are former slave holders. But when they were making those bricks, black people were making those bricks, they started creating businesses. They started creating a product. They had something that these racists really needed. They had something that these racists needed. And they bought those bricks from those black guys, from those black people. And then, he started to realize that they actually started to have respect for them because they were producing a product and they were protecting themselves and they were doing business. So what I'm saying that to say is this. A lot of times, just because some people, they may hate you, but a lot of times they don't hate you because of necessarily just purely your skin color or something like that. Is a lot of these people, they feel like we are a liability to them. They don't. I mean, there's a lot of ideologies that they have, and we've been taught to kind of bust those ideologies up. We've been taught to try to integrate and mix with them and date their sisters and all these kind of things that they really hate. So that's a lot of the That's a lot of the source of their hatred. I'll say it that way.
You can ask BMT. He can confirm that I normally don't talk about race in these terms. Okay, but since you brought up the preppers, I have to say, like I said, if you watch these guys hard enough, I'm going to talk about 10 years ago, they'll reveal what their real agenda is. They'll tell you right up.
I work with them.
Waiting for things to break out, and I'm going to, I'm talking about the guys a decade ago who were talking about the FEMA camps and all that stuff.
At that time, didn't it?
It's a whole bunch of that stuff.
Oh yeah, that definitely. You're right. I believe.
Well, remember back then they were talking about Obama setting off a race war intentionally. That was part of the fear that he was going to be the one who was going to set this up. Of course,
to take their guns away from
them. They were talking some crazy stuff on YouTube back then.
Yeah.
Oh no, not that part. Well, that part too, but also the idea that he was going to set up inner city militias based on some Chicago model and stuff like that. And it was, like I said, so all sorts of weird rumors were out there. They were being promoted on YouTube.
Well, let me say something else goes too. One thing about
you said about the families in Georgia who are, I think they bought 92 acres of land. I read it.
Yeah. You've seen that?
Yeah, 19. Yeah, 19. They bought 96 acres of land,
which ain't that much, but it's still they can grow from there.
Well, see, that's the thing about it. And yeah, and actually that's true. 96 acres is not a lot. I'm not to say that we're looking down on it.
Right.
But it's a start for them.
Yes.
And they can always, if they're smart and they're strategic, they can take the timber, sell it. They can resell. You want to know when you really start becoming a threat? It's when you're self-sustaining.
Yeah.
When you're independent. You can self-sustain yourself, and you can do for yourself, and other groups feel like, whoa, I need the mic group because they're known for having the stuff I need for copper. And
that was Booker T. Washington. I'm sorry, I forgot his name at that time,
but see, once they understand that, they're not going to try to get rid of it. They need you. Because now you actually have a momentum of force. But in doing that, you still always have to be on the ready. When I was overseas, right, it was no secret. Everybody knew that we had enemies all around us in the Middle East. But they still needed us for water, clean water. They needed us for building generators in homes. because we're providing a service, certain people, the people will tell certain militia groups, whoa, leave the Americans alone. They're about to rebuild the grandparents' house. Leave that alone because that's where the kids go for school. If you do that, we're going to turn on you. So leave the Americans alone. And then knowing that, this is why we tell a lot of people, listen, man, you need to start learning something that is. Yes, I get it. Listen, man, I get it. Everybody don't want to touch. You don't have to touch this right now. But what I would tell us to start doing is start learning how to start getting some things while we can, while the getting's good. You know, I brought a female in here. I got to get in touch with her. Her and her friend are buying 116 acres of land. You saw that, Ghost. She's buying 116 acres of land.
Yeah.
And she said that I'm willing to work with y'all to buy more land.
Yeah.
Now, what that's saying is, well, guess what? We can start getting with her to go buy what? More land. More land control.
In the Southeast.
Right. So that gives you more. I think it's in Kentucky on down. So literally, that's pretty good. Because that's going from Kentucky into Texas, into Georgia, North Carolina. So that's pretty good. So literally, you can start selling the timber, start getting close to the highways and stuff, start agriculturing the land and what you need, and taking that money and circling it amongst yourselves. Once you start doing that, you could every once in a while use a budget to go buy yourself training to do what you need to do. This is not no anarchist stuff, but I'm telling y'all what other groups do amongst themselves.
And that's prepping. I mean, it's not. And you can't. What I'm saying is, and I know. See, this is what I was talking about a little earlier. It's like there's certain segments of every group that there's certain people that they are considered radicals. They may take to certain things really quick, but then you have your mainstream people who will deny until a thing is right in their face. And then some of them, they'll see it and they still won't believe it. You know, but this is where the society is headed. And the people who were considered radical are kind of going to be on a little bit more of a more prepared edge, because the people who just don't want to believe what they're literally seeing over a projected period of time, you're seeing the lowering. You know, the government is not able to solve the problems that it used to be able to solve. You know, they can't, you know, you don't even hear about, you know, I don't hear too much about, you know, fixing up from the hurricane, you know, the fires and all the natural disasters. They're just like, the FEMA, we ain't doing nothing for that no more, hardly. You know what I'm saying? Because
I think
really,
that's because of
it's just not really happening like that. They can't solve those problems as much as they used to. And so that's just a weakening of this government. And so that means you're going to have more responsibility, you know, the groups who want to survive.
Super Mike. I think the reason why the media is not talking about disaster relief is because they're trying to sandbag the president by making this seem as if the government's ineffective. I think that's what that's about.
That's probably part of it, but it still speaks to them not being on the same page to, you know, rise above certain stuff to try to solve problems. You know, so that's just showing you.
Well, they're not in the business to solve problems.
Well, see, that's the problem that right there. You're on a trajectory to just die, because you got to solve problems in order to survive. Like, you got to solve the problems.
I think one of the things about it is, here's the thing. One of the biggest things that the nation was trying to do, when we were watching, when you look up the history of the nation, they were trying to get it to where we didn't have different secular groups. They wanted us all to come together under God. In other words, we don't want y'all getting off on your own.
Melting pot.
Exactly. They wanted the melting pot to melt together. So that way, you're not off doing your own thing. But guess what? Everybody wasn't included in the pot. They wanted us to be in the pot, but we couldn't be one of the ingredients on the recipe. And the thing about it is, we
was the sticks.
So
to heat the pot up.
So the thing about it, and I look at it because, like I said, we had preppers on the channel. I'm gonna try to get them to come back. Y'all have noticed I started doing a little bit of prepping content and telling y'all what to go buy. Like, if you can go invest in a generator, invest in ammunition, a pistol. You don't
Hold on a second. Keep going.
But we're definitely coming to that, and I get what you're saying, Ghost. That right now, you and I've already read about and heard about Lake Charles and how they took a hit.
Yes.
We got to be realistic, y'all. The community needs to start learning how to be a lot more self-sustaining. The community needs to learn how to be.
Best things.
No, I agree. The community needs to learn how to be a lot self-sustaining. Also, let me give y'all a mention. I know, but a lot of people have been getting angry that I've been wearing Black Lives Matter T-shirts and stuff.
Oh, you got me too.
Let me answer that question real quick. Listen, y'all. A lot of y'all don't know shit what they actually do amongst those chapters. I can tell you right now, what some of those people do in them chapters is not what they show in the media. Like, I actually went to like 2 of their chapters already. 2 different chapters. There are men and women in there. There aren't no crazy stuff. No Sean Kings. It's just a bunch of black people doing stuff. Like, they were handing out masks, backpacks, hot plates of food, different other stuff. But the thing about it is, it seems like whenever we talk about self-development and grassroots stuff, those types of talks get overlooked because they're not the pop. They like to see us fit certain narratives of sensational things. And that's why we have to learn to master the art of being silent. Move silent. You don't have to announce your moves. If you don't like dealing with the police, hey, don't call them. Handle it on your own. When the situation happened, what do? Let's call the police. No. We know where they're at. Let's go handle that ourselves. We're going to just burn down that building and set an example. And so once they start seeing you do that to 1, 2, 3, 4, but mind you, you are the people. And inside of your community, they are the minority. Y'all don't, that's the thing you don't understand. You are the people. They are the minority. They need, so long as you don't say nothing, they get that child gets away with things. But when that child start acting up and all the other kids start popping that child's gonna stop. Because all the rest of the classmates are not condoning that. That was something I learned from an Arabic man. He said when one man start acting up, all of the men chastise him. So that way it don't get out of control.
See? They police themselves.
But BMT, we're not a Sharia country over here. That can descend into simple.
You know,
true. Things don't happen the same way. But let's say this, Elgos. When you was in class, you go to public school or something. If you did something stupid,
right?
What happened? You're gonna get clowned. You know what I'm saying? Or you're gonna get some type of effect. Maybe the girls wouldn't like you or something. I don't know. But there are methods that we have that we can hold each other accountable. So I mean, true enough, we're not Sharia law and all that kind of thing, whatever. But there's principles from every successful group. I think that we should start looking at that. Like if something we admire or see as successful, maybe that another group does. I mean, we can incorporate some of those principles. We may not do it like they do it, but
Like let me say this. Back then, if a child acted out, everybody could pop that child. So that child knew not to act out because what? Everybody can whoop your behind. You know what I mean? And it wasn't out of hate. It was out of just we didn't want that child to step out. Now, this was in the U.S. This was when I was I'm in South Carolina. So if I acted out, my granddaddy could tear my behind up. My cousin killed. The man at the barbershop. I remember he took a broomstick. He took it off. He said, "All y'all boys line up." Wop. He walked right down the line. Tore all 6 of our behinds up.
Okay, but BMT, and you can stop me if I'm wrong, but you've talked about the shared culture that you have in your community. So people in your town are coming from basically the same or similar upbringing. Would you agree with that statement?
Yes. We incorporate.
So
you saw me showcase the town today where it looked more so like family.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Right, and you, I've even heard you refer to people as being your cousins and stuff like that. People who were part of your community.
Right.
And the reason I'm bringing it up is that so if somebody that you have a cultural connection to spanks your son for going through the wrong yard, I could see you being more flexible with that. But I think a lot of people outside of your community don't want any other adult talking to their kid at all, because there's so much nonsense going on out here. You know the topic I'm talking about. That you don't want any adults interaction with your kid. I don't care how good-hearted it is. Don't talk to them. Don't talk to my son. Don't talk to my daughter. And you're definitely not going to hit them.
Right.
We've lost.
I think. Are you talking about where we could end up?
Unless you live in a small town.
I think that's the thing about it. We have to go back. We have we got to start small.
I feel like, just like we were steered from that to this, then when we get control of what we need control of, then we will be the ones that will be able to steer our community more closer together, where those type of connections will be, normal again.
Right. That's why.
But it's not like that.
Yeah. No. And what you're saying is true, Mike, because getting 96 acres of land. Now that's not a lot of. That's pretty. That's a micro community, which it actually is. I know they say it's a city, but it's actually a micro community.
Yeah.
That's literally about a college, about a small college, believe it or not. So what they're saying, and if you look at the housing that they showcase, those are like miniature, they're not big houses.
No.
So they're forcing me, you, and Mike to have to interact with each other. One of the big issues that we have, and you don't even have to have a gun or a weapon, is become the presence you need to be in your community.
Right.
Sometimes just being that presence is enough. When you're that presence at the basketball court around the boys, say, "Hey, y'all, come here. I'm going to show y'all we're going to play some games. I got some chips and some juice." Them boys going to line up. They're going to, "Oh, snap, chips, juice, like, what's good?" Like, yo, let me D up with you, old man. They'll come.
Right.
Because now they're going to recognize that here's this guy showing a presence. Or that lady who's teaching the girls, "Hey, y'all, let me teach y'all some stuff." We stopped and got away from the connecting of the people. We want the disciplinarian side, but we don't want the connecting side. And see, that's why
that's more effective.
And see, that's why cops can't effectively police with blacks, because they're not truly connected with us. They don't live amongst you. They don't speak with you. They don't really deal with you. They don't understand you. I'm not saying I don't want y'all to, but I'm telling you, those militias, they are connected to their people because they are their people. So they're impersonating their will. The reason why a lot of the black men and women of these places, them going around doing their little tour of NFAC around the world, that's stupid. They would have been more effective if they was in their community, showcase, "Hey guys, so we're going around our community, we're policing it, we're getting kids to where they need to, we're protecting the elderly, We're making sure people get jobs. We're also taking the money, circulating it back
See,
in.
that's what I mean. Like you earlier, solving problems.
That would have been more effective because they're not trying to show force. They're showing stability.
Right. And really and truly, you know what? I'm gonna tell you one thing. I mean, a lot of people might disagree with me, but this to me has been proven so much over the last 40 years at least. Really, in Black communities, when you're connected with the people, you don't even need guns to police that place. And I know people think that's not true, but you may need guns for some outsiders or some outsider type groups or whatever. But just the people that live there, when you're connected to that, and that's from me being in the Nation of Islam, and I know for a fact that there's different security contracts to secure whole entire buildings and whole entire groups of people and complexes and stuff with drugs and people who have guns and who've killed people. But when they know you don't have a gun, but you will respond in a group-like manner, they'll be like, oh, they'll just let that gun, they don't need it. They know they don't need it. You know what I'm saying? And then they respond the right way because they know when I'm not going to get arrested, the brothers just want to talk, even though I'm selling drugs, I know I don't need to be doing that. All right, man, I'll go over here. And that's hardcore drug dealers. So I'm just saying, go ahead.
I was going to say, Super Mike, what you're describing sounded so much like the Guardian Angels back in the 80s and late 70s. And they were doing it in New York and housing projects. They were successful, but they used a lot of physical intimidation to.
Well, yeah, that happened. I ain't going to say that, yeah, people got beat up, guns got taken apart. Because some of our people got beat up. Some people don't care if some brothers or Nation of Islam, they're gonna try to shoot you. But it just was a blessing that the brother. We have security tactics because we did not carry guns. You see what I'm saying? So, and just saying people don't understand but then when people realize they just ain't gonna kill us, then they actually start dealing with people differently. They deal with you differently because they realize that you're there to serve them. You care about their life. You see what I'm saying? Right now we're having police that these people do not care about your life. Some of them may want to just kill you. Some of them just want to, beat you up, and they look at you like some kind of animal or something like that. So, it's just we got to, earlier, the whole game is, to me, what we should be doing or thinking about predominantly is getting area that we can, like you said, coalesce in. Like you just said, the sister talking about those type of projects, buying acres of land, groups of people developing. That's when you start saying, okay, now every time we buy acres of land, that place has a militia. Okay, this is a new city. That city has a militia, and those communities are connected to each other. You see what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So you don't just train people from out the blue. Just some, people. Just what are they protecting? What's their purpose? What's their constitution? What do they believe in? Who do they love? You see what I'm saying?
It sounds good.
It's a fact. It's more than sounds. This is historical. This is how humans develop. This is how all communities that you see currently develop.
Yeah, that's why we're here today.
Yeah, that's why I said sometimes you kind of trigger me when you say it sounds good. These things work. If you ever
watch Dog the Bounty Hunter, I could just imagine having 10 people like that running around trying to be civilian law enforcement. I don't have a gun, but I'm still gonna mess with you. Okay. So, here's a perfect example. If you live in a gated community, and I know PMT knows about this because in the Southeast we have a lot of these down here, and these people called condo commandos, and these are people who are civilians who have legal control over how you live in your gated community. Have you seen that, Super Mike?
I have not.
Okay. Other parts of the country don't have it, but if you're in the southeast, there are a lot of them down here, and they can tell you to paint your house or to mow your lawn.
Oh yeah, you talking
or
about just
that-
regular old homeowner associations and stuff?
right? But it's not.
Yeah,
It's not
I
about
don't like
violence. It's not about violence, but it's about the people who do that or on a power trip. Okay?
Yeah, you're right.
And there
I know.
are a lot of people out there like that who would gladly join your civilian force because they get to push people around.
Well,
I'm just saying that.
there's rules of engagement. See,
Go
this is
ahead.
what I'm saying. These things seem sometimes weird to us now because we've grown accustomed to living like we're living now. But if we're looking at the status quo, we see that this thing is breaking down. It's not sustainable right now. So the conversation that I'm talking about, that I think BMT was kind of talking about, and he was talking about the militias and stuff like that. This is what is coming up. What, you know what I mean? Kind of where we're going a little bit. And so there's always going to be there has to be, I should say, some sort of force to, kind of keep the rules about whatever community that is around. So yeah, I mean, you're going to have some of those type of people. They enjoy, trying to be in those type of organizations because they get to, like you said, some people have that in them, but there's going to be rules and standards and, all that kind of stuff.
Well,
so you'll have more control over those people and how they behave.
Let me tell you what
the perfect example of that is George Zimmerman.
See,
he's somebody
let me
who
tell you
wanted
what
to be-
negates that power. Let me tell you how you can negate that power. That power has to answer to the people.
Yeah.
No matter what. Well, we had to do this. No. Before you made your call, why did you not run it with the people first? Because when you have it where there's no such thing as we are the standard. No. The people are the standard. And when the people are forming that, then literally nobody's above the book. See, that kills everything. Because once the book is formed or the laws are formed of the agenda, you can't go. No one is above the agenda. No one. That's how these groups are rolling now. They have an agenda and they're sticking to it. So when I see that thing in California, how they got that agenda, that SB 145.
Yeah, when you posted that, I went into that thing.
A lot of people were looking at me like, BND, why are you talking about that? Oh, why y'all surprised about the agenda? That was that. They told you what they were going to be doing. Why y'all surprised? You don't see nobody trying to attack that because that was their agenda. People form agendas every day.
Yeah.
So I gotta wrap it up. I did my hour. I do look forward to hearing your take, but Mike can go in more cutthroat about that. I probably will talk on Negro Shave Radio about it, but I'm gonna tell y'all right now, as far as I go, especially in these spaces of the manosphere, you're never gonna hear these guys talking about forming their own militia. They're never gonna hear, that would mean that they actually are talking about forming a stable environment of change for themselves and their people,
right.
And they just don't have that resolve. So, I mean, people can feel the way
I agree with you. I agree with militias need to be coupled with groups of territory or people, like settlements. I'll say it that way.
Militias,
that's how I think.
Majority of the time, I want y'all to understand this, man, and I'm gonna show y'all, and we can just show you. Look at the evidence. Now people want to show up. Y'all can kiss my ass.
It's early.
Most of these groups, if you notice, these groups are where? In territory.
In the country. You see that? Yep.
They're in territorial areas.
Yep.
Territorial areas.
See that?
So you can't tell them what to do with it. So long as they're in their backyard, guess what?
Yep.
They listen. It's the only time they train in their own area, on their own property, at their own sake.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know until they actually reveal themselves, until they actually start telling you what they want to do. Like I said, I tell y'all right now, man, like y'all gotta understand. We're here to play. You're here now to play the long game with a lot of these people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I've already been doing this with my babies. I done showed y'all. That with my children and the children in my neighborhood. You think I train them anywhere? No, I train them in my area, around me, by me. They don't look for nobody else. They come here.
And the seeds thing is important too. That's why I showed y'all this, because like I know we got the militia part, but knowing what foods to get. The navy beans or beans, you can eat them, you can grow them anywhere, and they last. As long as they stay dry, they last for years and years and years and years. You see what I'm saying? You can survive off of them alone and not eat another thing your whole life, literally, if you wanted to. So those are the type of foods. Like, I know people think that's crazy because that's just what, been put out there. But, we're going to be the stuff we see overseas, like in Haiti and all of those different countries that we used to say, oh, that's over there. Some of that stuff is going to start coming over here to us, little crises and refugee stuff and all these type of things. And, that's something that prep stuff is good knowledge to have. It's very important that we know some of that stuff, and like I said, some of us are not going to believe that this stuff is real until it actually starts to slap them in the face. And that's going to be sad, but that's how it is. We ain't going to go over your time too much.
No. But I just want to show y'all, like I said, if y'all don't believe me how it works, I want y'all to see it for yourselves. Boom. There you go.
Yeah.
There I got firearms out there, and you see what they're doing. Where all the children are around. They're around the table. They're looking at the different firearms and stuff. And trust me, they've all shot every last one of them. They done shot every last one of them, except the little one could not shoot the shotgun. They done shot them all. They done shot all of those guns. They done handled them. I done did many hours of time. I done nighttime shooting, daytime shooting. They go out there. Hell, sometimes the girls go out there by themselves with the older kids, and they practice. Now, that little one right there, she can shoot that target. That target right there is 150 yards out. Actually, she could shoot up to 200. That one right there can shoot
standing up, huh?
Standing up. Like I said, look at her. So she's doing all of that on her own.
You got some training.
So I don't want to hear that y'all, listen, man, y'all keep on thinking people are not training. People are training. You need to start training.
Yeah.
When you start getting it where little children start to practice, they start training. You got all the videos of everybody else doing that little training and stuff. Y'all better understand, man, it's a no holds bar type of thing.
Yeah.
I'll have the time to go. Listen, man, y'all got the time to talk about everything else. But literally, I'm telling you, if you lack the resolve to actually train your people, that's on you. I don't know what to tell you. But I'm just not waiting anymore for no type of salvation. I'm just not. I'm just very realistic in understanding that, guess what? Nobody is going to fix your shit. That's going to be up to you. It's going to be up to me. It's going to be up to Ghost. Nobody's going to fix our shit anymore. Nobody's going to feel sympathetic for our plight.
That's right.
So y'all think that everybody's going to come out here and try to police your community. Go ahead. What you had to say, brother?
I was going to say, and I'm not trying to be contradictory to your point, but I'm just going to touch on what Cyril Mike said about history. You're in the military. You know, you've seen or heard about what ethnic cleansing looks like, and you just don't want to see that kind of stuff break out in the United States. We will be the victims of that here if it ever got to that point. I don't care how many guns we buy, because we don't have the numbers, and it would just be bad. I'm just saying, if you think that's what's going to happen, I think you'd be better off having another plan, because
Well,
if
El
we
goes.
ever got,
The only thing is,
Go-
though,
go
El
ahead.
goes. The only thing is, if you look at history, they tried that several times with us
not
here.
No.
Yes, they've tried it
I'm
several
talking about
times with us here.
like well, for example, going back to history, they put the people from China. They literally sent them back to China. They didn't really. They did that by point of a gun. So we have never really.
But you
seen
got to
that.
think we're here with them, so there's only certain weapons that they can use on us.
Yeah.
So if they drop a nuclear bomb here, they're going to kill themselves too. So they have to do it the old-fashioned way, and they've tried that many times.
Now,
And we've grown. So if they couldn't do that when we were at 8 million, they couldn't do it when we were at 20 million. They couldn't do it when we were at 30 million. Now we're at 45 to 50 million. That's just not, we're greater than the sum total of Canada. So they're going to have to negotiate. They're not going to be able to do what you're suggesting and be successful, because
I don't want that. I don't want to
they
see that.
suffer too. So that's what I mean. Like, they could try.
No, I
Some of
don't
them
want to-
do have that in their mind, but that's just not going to pan out.
now, one of the things about
No,
it,
I don't believe it's going to happen.
well,
Some of them will try, because you're right about that. Some of them want to do that.
here's the conflicting thing about it. In the amount of time of all these things happening, people did not have the proper training, the knowledge, the information, the mobility, the economic or sustainability to actually do these things. You do now. You as a group of people, you do now. If you so wanted to, I just showed y'all a group called Viper. There's other groups out there that literally are standing 10 toes down, that are on their own. The thing about it is, a lot of y'all don't know about these groups. I wouldn't tell y'all about them. And there's a reason why they choose to stay silent. But they understand that, guess what? You know what? Talk is cheap. What we do when the time comes.
Yeah.
Now, some people can walk around and parade and show and showcase, all that said stuff. But other people rather actually take their time and actually properly, manage themselves and actually do for themselves and actually get their stuff together. Like, let me show y'all a little thing. I asked y'all, hey, go join some gun groups. Like, look at this.
Yeah.
They have right here. Look at all these young ladies. Look at all these young ladies. All right there. They all have their own firearms. They're all out there. What are they doing? Practicing on their footing, practicing on how to load ammo, practicing on marksmanship. I tell you, I see more women that y'all think these women are just going out there thotting it up. I see more females coming out there to the range, but they're like, well, if the men ain't gonna do it, then shit, we're gonna be out here. Now, mind you, notice my daughter's target is way farther out. However, same gun, different range, but however, you see it where they're out there training. You see all those firearms out there. You see them in their cars. So people are practicing. People are training.
Yep.
People are getting their stuff together. The thing about it is, we don't see. You don't know what other.
Exactly.
So
some of us think just because we didn't see it, it didn't happen.
right. He's training him. Notice he's over there at their group. You see them there with him, but he's actually teaching him, not the other way
He
around.
bumbling.
Now, watch the brother. Boom, boom, boom. Like I said, we have teachers. We have them who actually practice. I practice almost every other time. But we got to actually, I ask y'all and I implore y'all, learn, find a teacher. If I could have a week where I go get y'all, I will take y'all and say, okay, guys, let me show y'all some stuff. Let me teach y'all. Y'all can learn these things, man. Y'all can actually become proficient. It only takes time, effort, save your money rather than worry about getting these cars and looking cool and stuff. You see him having men and women out there. Y'all can do this.
Practicing. See, yeah.
See what I'm saying? People out there going out there to practice and learning how to shoot, learning how to do prone stances and stuff on the ground. Like, these are all military trained tactics that I learned over the years that this brother is teaching and other men are teaching out there. So I know y'all men can learn. Half the time, some of these lessons, guess where they're at? They're in people's yards, backyards. They're out there where people
that was an organization there.
Yeah. You got a brother right here. He said he just started his own thing.
Yep.
My new legalized Black Ops neighborhood watch / gun club. That brother formed his own thing. So there are people who are doing it, who are forming it, who are setting
That's
up.
happening.
I know it doesn't look like the ideal shit, but that's that brother's shit. Some brothers have their own shit. And like some people say, it's best to keep quiet.
Yup.
Teach people that want to learn and move effectively.
That's it.
I'm not chasing people. People who seek me out, they're members of BMT. They email me, they send me the funds, and I get to work. I know I don't look like it, but I got the dreads, the beard, and I'm the crazy veteran, but it's okay. I look the part. I'm not trying to look like the clean cut, shaved guy that they want to see. No, I want to look like that beer belly guy. But when it comes time to being able to move effectively, I'll let my action happen. Exactly. So, and that's the thing about it that I want us to take from that, man. You know what I'm saying? So I ask y'all, we have 33 in the chat. Remember to click the like button. Remember to support. You have 3 rounded brothers come on here, sit down here and talk with you guys. I know my brother Super Mike, he's gonna go talk about this. I look for his after show talk about it.
I'm gonna talk about that SB 145 thing.
Right. Ghost, you gave some content. Like I said, I got some things personally I gotta go take care of. So I'm gonna see you guys later. Thank you guys.
All right, man.
My subscriber who requested me to talk about this. Peace, everyone, and good night.
All right, peace.